Welcome back.
Hello.
I have Abby here with me in our jungle of plants, and we are talking more about the stem. We've talked a lot about botany and plants, and we've talked about the plant and the parts and the leaves and all of the work that the leaves do, and now we've been talking about the stem. And so I want to talk to you more about the work of the stem. But first, we have to talk about how the stem works with another part of the plant. Now, we've talked about, like I said, we talked about the leaf, and now we've talked about the stem. And when we think about the root of the plant, the root has a very important job too. So the roots, when we talk about roots, we're going to talk about how the parts of the root, that the root has root hairs that reach out to find the water, and then the water is absorbed through the roots and pushed up into the plant. And that works because the roots are made up of a bunch of cells, and as the cell fills with water, it pushes the water up into the next cell. And so I wanted to talk to you about how that works. So I have an example here of a little dish of colored water and a paper towel, and I want to show you how this works. This paper towel is going to kind of be like the, never mind, stop. I'm not, my picture's up here, but I'm not supposed to do it yet. No, just leave it, it's fine, I'll have to cut it out. Okay. So when those cells fill full of water, the water can only go in one way. So think about it like a one-way street. The water comes into the cell and it can't go back the way it came, so it has to push up. And so as the water is coming into the cell is pushing the water up. More water pushes up. And so it's like a one-way street. It's pushing the water. The water pressure is being pushed from the roots and pushed up through the plant. So it takes more and more water to fill the next cell, and it pushes the water up through the stem all the way to the leaves, like those little elevators from our leaf food factory poster. So I want you to think about this. You're filling your roots, your feet with water. The water's pushing up, more water's coming into your feet. Push until you're all the way full. You didn't get full. Okay, try it again. Push. That's how we get filled full of water. That's how the stems fill from the bottom and they push all the way up. They lift all the water up to the plant. So I said that this was water pressure. We could actually say it's root pressure because the pressure is being pushed up through the plant from the roots. So the root pressure is causing the water to move through the plant. I colored a chart while I was thinking about this. This chart is showing the water pushing up through the roots, through the stem. And as the stems extend into the leaves as veins, it's distributing that water out to all of the leaves. It's like the stem is acting like a pump. The water is coming up into the stem and the stem is distributing it out. So it's as if the stem is a pump for water in the plant. That's pretty cool. A way we can visualize this, and this is something you can do at home, we have a little dish of colored water here, and we have a paper towel. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you an example of what happens as the roots are absorbing that water or pulling the water into the stem, and it's extending up through the plant. I'm going to cut this into pieces in case we want to do it more than once because I really like doing this, so I think you will too. Okay, I just cut my stem paper towel into a strip and then folded it so that it's double thick. And we're going to tip the camera down so you can see what happens here. Now, here is our little dish of water. And here's our stem. So I'm going to place our stem in like this. And I'm only going to go that far. But look what's happening. Do you see the root pressure pushing the water up into the stem? I'm not going any deeper in it, but the water is coming up because there's pressure pushing up through the stem, and that comes from the roots. So you can see that. I'm going to bring it closer so you can see just this tiny little bit was under the water, but the water moved its way up. Let's see if I can turn this around. In the pattern of the paper towel, the color is coming up the pattern more than in the other area. You can see it on the front too. So I'm not putting it very deep in the water, but you can see that that pressure pushes it up the stem of my paper towel. I'm going to set it in there and we'll talk about this a little bit more. So it's the pressure from the plant or pressure from the root pushing the water through the plant that allows that elevator to work, where the water is getting up to the leaf and the food is coming down from the leaf. It's like a one-way street though, so the water doesn't escape through the roots. It's not like if a plant is in water, the roots are in water and then we pick it up, that the water just drains back out. It doesn't work quite like that. But if the longer we let this sit here, the further the water moves up through our paper towel. Now you can see it's wet all the way up to here as it sat and waited. Some of you maybe remember from the chromatography experiments we've done in the classroom about how the color of the leaves seeps up through our tissue paper. Yeah, we're wet all the way to there. The color is not there yet, but it's wet to there. We're gonna let that one sit there. We'll do it again. That's so much fun. Do you think it's fun? Okay. Okay. Let's watch this happen. I think it's so much fun to watch it creep up and up and up, and it's still going up and up and up. Maybe you would like to see what would happen if you had a second container of a different color and looped one from one to the other like this. I think someone from our class did that in the science fair last year about what happens when you do that. Okay, so that is just an example of the stem as a water pump, because the pressure from the roots pushes the water up and the stem distributes the water out to the leaves. Okay, I can't wait to see you next time. Have a great day.